talk about the Kuroda Aura tier list. Let's watch 143 as well. Q. Mijingo is the Q player. I've never heard that name in my life. He's already like 2 taunts in, isn't he? Or was that one? I was reading the name. Q with even a 1 taunt is pretty scary. Q with 2 taunts is actually pretty intimidating. He's not very good, but like just he has so much goddamn health. Was that the unthrowable stand? Or was Ken too early? This is Mobu Ken. I've never heard of him either. I don't know either of these players. This is weird. They usually tend to stack the backs of the team tournaments, the East versus Wests. They try to get, like, the better you are, the further back in the bracket they try to put you. So these two might be the worst players here, although they both seem pretty good. Ken has some pretty cheap combos against Q. You can always get a second uppercut with no Kara against Q, which makes Ken's combos incredibly consistent. Even after, like, I think target combo, you can still get 2 light DPs. People frequently tell me about Kuroda's Aura, but I've never actually seen footage of it. I don't even know where to find it. Probably on YouTube somewhere. Everything's just talk with Kuroda. There must be some source that people are all referring to. Stop letting this Q taunt. Holy shit. Ken doesn't have to be afraid of anything up close. Just fucking go in. Ooh, shit. Maybe he does have something to be afraid of. Oh, shit, this dizzies. Ugh, he dropped it. Alright, it's fine. He killed before he could dizzy. I was not impressed with Kuroda's Aura DVD. It wasn't even... He was good, and he was beating pretty good players. But he wasn't doing any of the advanced crazy Aura shit that I was promised. He was just doing very basic plain Aura shit with lots of parries. But he apparently got a lot better after that. Like 2 years later, he was like a crazy good Aura player. Oh, that was an early throw. That was just a fuck up from this Ken player. It's the same 2 players. What's going on here? I saw the Kuroda Justin Wong. It's funny. Justin Wong came disturbingly close to winning. But you also have to remember that Justin Wong is actually a good third strike player, and that Chun-Li is ridiculously broken. But like considering how free the US supposedly is at third strike, that was like a super close match. I wouldn't call it a murder. I would call it maybe a shaming, but I wouldn't call it a murder. Did Ricky play Chun-Li too? I don't remember. I can't picture Ricky playing this game. It's been too long. Very little fucking footage of US players playing this game well. I used to watch Combo Fiend play this game, and what's his name, the Chun-Li player? He had like some Amir, and Hungbi and all them. They were all really good. Ricky played Ken and not Chun. Dude, 3 taunts. Here we go. This Ken! Stop! These early ass throws. What the fuck is he doing? Oh my god, there's some nutty play right now. That was insanely risky. The risk was not worth the reward. Even though that worked, that fucking strikes me as a bad idea. He just went for 3 low shorts. I don't think that 3 low shorts works on Q. That was probably a fuck up. He was probably going to do low short super. And he just got the chain into the 3rd low short. Beat a Q with just roundhouse. As what character? As Chun-Li? Shugen. I just heard them say it. I didn't even need to read it. That's a very basic name, though. I've never heard of this guy. The meaty towards strong. It didn't look like a very good meaty. It looked like he missed the first hit, but then still got the normal connect on the second hit. The second hit has a lot of active frames, so you can get a very deep connect on it and then link out of it. There's a lot of early throwing going on. What the fuck are people doing? These throws can't work. Ooh, nice. That dash in, that was a punish. Parry, dash in, throw. Reuse car throw. Some nice pressure going on here. That was a confirmed to super. Oh my lord. Look at Q's health though. Oh, have you canceled that to super too? That was a punish. Very nice play. Good recognition. Taunts mean less and less the less health you have. Hey, Toshin. So there's a certain point in the match where, I mean, that was a fine taunt. But there's a certain point in the match where taunts just don't pay off. I mean, like, Q has this escape option with the down tap. It's actually a stand animation that causes him to be unthrowable. But those, he's not dodging by those. He's dodging by merit of the fact that people are going for very early throws while he's still in hit stun. Block stun, rather. Like, they land a jump hard kick and throw as soon as they land. And there's, like, no context that that can work on any character. Unless maybe their attack was parried, but you can just react to that. You don't need to fucking predict it or anything. It's really weird. You don't normally see play like that. This is a good Dudley. The name is the same as the Ryu. I don't know if it's the same guy or what. Normally once you're out in one of these little tournament things, you're just out. So I don't know what's going on here. Dang, this Q's his defense is really good. You have to have good defense to be a Q, but it only goes up so far, you know what I mean? Nice. Stand strong. Alright, I wasn't going to look at this, but I'll click on, if you type crazy Oro shit, I'll fucking click. Kuroda Oro. 1 win already. That's already pretty crazy. Oh shit, it got a lot even crazier. That's an anti-quick stand setup. There's another version that, oh, he dropped it. Oh. We're watching like a highlights video. I didn't realize. End with the crutch fierce into fireball into send hard kick into EX fireball. That's weird, it reset. I don't think he was early enough. It could be like Urian's weird body. Let's analyze that combo, because that combo was cool as shit. So, against several characters, one of which is Urian, Oro can do a cancel into fireball, which is safe, and it's safe on parry and on block. And Urian's too tall for it to whiff over his head, whereas most characters aren't. So, he can't get out of it even crouching. So it's like that's why you do that against the characters who are tall enough for it to work. So it's a safe launcher, and when it hits, you can actually keep the combo going. Most people do hard stomp. Is like the most common follow-up here. I don't know if that works on Urian. That works on most characters that this works on. So I think it does, but it's kind of precise. But what Kuroda does here is sort of the better version, is you do a dash and you charge partition another fireball. So he does the slight charging, dash, slight charging, stand strong into another fireball. That requires a dash and requires charge partitioning. And you can do that 3 times in a row if you want to, and it's pretty fucking hard. I can do it like maybe 1 time out of 3. And I've got good like Oro execution, but partitioning is like next level. And then he partitions another. No, he does the hard stomp there, so it does work on Urian. Fucking, I just saw it and then I forgot about it. And then you can do anything here, but the juggle potential, the juggle number right now is at 5, so he can't do anything to land a hit of the super. So the best thing to do here is either a stand strong, instant air, jump hard kick, which gets the 6th hit and then like a 7th additional hit. That does like it's I don't know if it's damage optimal ender compared to uppercut, or you can just end an uppercut, which gets good damage in meter. I think uppercut by itself is, I don't know which one's better. But he's in the corner, so uppercut's probably the best ender. But he does something even weirder. He does an uppercut and cancels it to super, and I don't know what the fuck motion he used. It cancels the super the other way because that's one of the super cancelable hits of uppercut that connects, but he's already on the other side, and Aura will autocorrect which side he needs to do the super. Um, he probably does charge down into quarter circle forward, up forward, quarter circle back punch. That's probably his motion. It's a pretty nasty motion just thinking about it. And he had to partition that too. Actually, no, he didn't, because it was after the stomp, so he just charged during the stomp. So that might not be that hard. It was pretty flashy. Might not be that hard. And then this is really cool. So that was the 6 hit. The combo counter is already appearing on the screen, which means that the juggle potential's already run out. Urian is now immune to all attacks until he hits the ground. Uppercut automatically. Uppercut has a lot of juggle potential that it adds. So you can't get a juggle here unless it's EX uppercut. Like even if you get it on an opponent with no juggle at all. So normally you want to hit one hit of this super on the opponent before they land, or else they can just quick stand. But there's a new series of setups that are getting more popular that Kuroda sort of popularized, where you do instant air jump medium kick and then land on the other side, and you push the opponent with dashes beforehand. And if they don't quick stand, you do jump and then double jump, like after you go on the other side, and then you just you spin around because you jumped after going on the other side of them. So Oro is now facing to the left, and he just comes down and does like jump hard kick, stand strong, something like that, and it delays it enough that it's like a meaty attack, and then you get your fucking cross up unblockable. But more typically, the opponent will quick stand because that's their best hope of escaping, and the jump medium kick is instant air, and whether the opponent blocks it or not, Oro still goes up, or parries it or not, I should say, or both, anything. No matter how the opponent tries to get out of it, they then have to deal with the super fireball, which is inside them. So they have to block or get hit, or parry that. And most of the time, people are going to be blocking or getting hit. And Oro continues over their head and lands on the other side of them. So this is like a little, and then he has enough time to link out of it. So it's like a setup that allows Oro to get cross-up unblockables, even if the opponent's quick standing. And it's one of the most potent things about Oro on paper. It's a very good combo that he just got. I've started incorporating that into my game. It's really good. And then he just drops the combo right there immediately afterwards. Anyway, enough of that. That was a good clip, though. Very showy combo. He juggled into the short swing blow. This Q's had really good success defending, but like any hit that slips through, this is all safe. And any hit that slips through, he eats a super. It's the unfortunate nature of Q and Dudley. Oof. Damn, you get such nice juggles on Hugo. That doesn't work on like any other character. It might work on Q. Oof. Wake up, crouch fierce. That's bad. That's bad. Surprised it just worked. Oh, getting a lot of errant connects right now. He can win off a super. Where did this fall apart? Nice parry. Damn, I'm number one, huh? I think I've seen that, yeah, the Piero video. Trying to counter poke with stand hard kick. Normally a pretty good option against Hugo. Any successful stand hard kick that beats a poke, you can just empty cancel into EX machine gun blow. I guess I'll click on this link. Yep, number one. Even more so than the actual DVD. Pathetic, really. There are lots of searches you can get that I will be number one result. I dare you to YouTube search Buffel. I bet it's all me. Whoa, that name. Vori um volume. What a weird name. Who owns Cross Counter? Like CCTV? You saying like you type that in, you'll get me? Because no, you won't. New KOF 14 teaser. Is it like an image or a video? We got a new character? Give me the info. Huh. He managed to walk under a Chun-Li stint jump hard kick. I'm pretty sure that genuinely hits on both sides, so I'm surprised that worked. That's kind of an interesting super cancel. I don't think you can confirm that. I don't think it inherently confirms. I think you have to see something whiffing in order to confirm it. There's this. It's a weird kind of confirm. It's not really a confirm per se. It can easily go wrong. But if you do a lot of attacks, there's a lot of like short swing blow, like there. There's sort of this expectation that it can only work if you don't get stuffed out of it. Or rather, it can only work. No one's gonna fucking block that long. Someone's gonna take a throw or like hit you out of it with a poke or something like that. There's no expectation that you're gonna be blocked. There's only I'm gonna get hit or I'm gonna have this attack hit. Robert, Benny, Mario, and Kid Ash. Yo. Anyway, because there's no expectation you're gonna be blocked, you can almost kind of treat it like a hit confirm. I'm willing to bet that more short swing blows hit than are blocked. In that kind of context. It's still desperate. It's still a guess. Alright, we can take a break from Third Strike to watch this video. Let's see what we got here. Unfortunately, it's going to be a slight zoom in for you guys. K is a lame character. No. Kyo still looks kind of weird to me. Yori still looks fine. The animation looks jerky, but I don't really care. $50 fighters. That's a lot. Dream match confirmed. Yep, there's Robert. There's Ralph. Did we already know Ralph was in the game? Benny. I've never seen that super. I've seen that super. Kid Ash. Nice. I think we already knew about Andy, didn't we? I didn't even see Andy. Ralph and Robert. That whale, though. Yori and Benny Mario. I don't see no Andys here. Kid Ash and Kyo. Oh. Anyway. Benny looked okay. He looked like Benny. He didn't look like a straight up recreation of his 2D model. But it looked like the same guy in slightly different clothes. It doesn't look like fucking Kyo where it looks like a literal different person. I don't know that much at all about 2002 Ultimate Match. I've only casually watched it. You might say I know almost nothing. I think that was a Kara Universal Overhead. It's towards medium kick, Kara medium punch for Chun-Li. It looked like it had a lot of range. Nice. Good hit confirm. Just do jump hard kick and double quarter circle as you're coming down, and you can react. Every character can do a confirm like that. You got a lot of time to buffer. And hit jump attacks, do lots of hit stun. Huh. Some mutual dodging going on there. I think Ken can get double DP quite easily on Chun-Li compared to most characters. In the corner it works on everyone, I'm pretty sure. Or at least nearly everyone. Nice. Skill? Not quite. Oh, that was a pretty big gamble. Oh, that was unsafe. I think even though it hit, it was unsafe. Hard punch, medium uppercut, super? Yeah. Doesn't work on Alex and Dudley. I didn't know that. Good knowledge, Yama. I think Ken can do double DP after stand strong or low forward on Chun-Li, but then his other combos into light DP, you can't do a second DP. And then he doesn't need the Kara if he's got the corner. I don't know. I'm like not an expert on all my Ken double DP combos. Stand hard punch. That one's one of the more push outy ones, isn't it? So that's pretty good. That means Chun-Li's nice and wide. Cisgendered scum. I'll click this. Ah, there it is. Pretty sure female wrestlers slap their asses literally all the time. I actually spent all evening playing Ken. I shouldn't say all evening. I spent like an hour playing the Ken mirror in Street Fighter V. Ken feels stiff and bad right now as a Beta 3. And he's apparently going to get worse for Beta 4. All female wrestling is fake. In fact, all wrestling is fake. Aura struggles work really well on Alex, so I'm kind of surprised Alex doesn't work. Same with Lily, actually. But I guess Oro and Ken have different functions, different qualifications for what makes their juggles work. Wrestling is just is like fucking all about the show. There's like if you want to watch actual wrestling, you could probably go watch like fucking like professional like Olympic French wrestling or some bullshit like that, or like fucking MMA bullshit. But like anything like there's so much show wrestling that's just about fucking uh faces and heels and whatever. What is it? Damn, Dudley's probably rich as shit. He's probably one of the richest fucking Street Fighters. Ken is probably the richest Street Fighter. Yeah, it's a soap opera for men. It's supposed to be exciting and fun. I mean, there is real wrestling. There's real female wrestling, and there's real fucking. There's a lot of real stuff. I'm exaggerating. But Mika is a reference to like show wrestling. Bunch of low parries on Wake Up. That's like two, I'm pretty sure. I wonder what the fuck he was expecting that two low parries was the right answer. Meaty Link's tail. Karine is richer than Ken. You might be right. Akuma is near guaranteed to sneak his way in as a DLC character at some point down the line. Yeah, he's being in Tekken 7. Like I know how like sometimes it's like I know how like they're trying to remove similar characters and remix the roster and shit. Ooh, nice parry. Didn't get him a punish or anything though. But just I can't see Akuma not being in it somewhere. He's too popular and he's too central. Like the third most popular character in the series. Maybe the second, I forget. Ooh, anti-air jab. He had to do a bunch. He shouldn't have just done the one. That was nice. He was on fucking death's door for that entire round. Good comeback. Jump jab. Ken had a juggle there, I guess, into no. I don't think there's a way to make Ken's super juggle not shit on Elena. In fact, it's like shit on everyone. It requires like a corner and crazy precise timing on like certain characters only in order to get Ken's super 3 to juggle properly. You lose a couple hits, but the you get a really interesting property at the end of it. Whoa, that was desperate. This is Turbine. This is the Elena from last video, or one of the Elenas from last video. So we've only had, I think, 2 Elenas so far. Or was it 3? Oof. No, was an Elena at the beginning of last video as well. And in fact, the 2 Elenas fought. I forget the other one's name, though. Jump hard kick got stuffed. Elena's one of the short crouchers, so I think she only gets hit once by Ken's overhead. Which means Ken's hit confirm is a lot harder on her. But he still needs that hit confirm or else his overhead presence isn't good. He loses a lot of his Oki if he doesn't have that hit confirm. Most Kens can still do it, but it's hard as shit. Back medium kick, 1 hit only, hit confirm to super. Java. You don't usually see the overhead that much when the Dudley doesn't have super, which makes it kind of a good option when the Dudley doesn't have super. Ken's step kick is pretty garbage in this game. Ooh, that has lots of dizzy. Pretty good damage too. I think it's actually genuinely invincible. Dude, I've been playing a lot of Magic Archer. I've realized that fucking Bitter Black Isle Magic Archer is just too good. I was underwhelmed by Magic Archer my fucking second playthrough of the game where I ran the entire game as Magic Archer. But now I realize like it's all environment. It's all the environment. The environment makes the Magic Archer. It's what enemies are weak to. It's what like the how close the walls are. It's what you're trying to kill. But Magic Archers are good against every enemy in the game, and the only other character who can claim that is like Mystic Knight. Goro playing Ken, huh? Of course, it's a gold Ken. Quite a good anti-air for Dudley. So I played Third Strike starting around 2006, give or take. And I was as good as I am now by like 2008 or 9. And in 2009, somewhere, or like the very late 2008, I forget, Street Fighter 4 came out. And the play changed radically in that one little year. Like, the good players were as good as they ever were, but like the baddies went from being like typical third strike baddies to like a new kind of baddie. They went to being like weird. Like I would begin to realize, and I didn't play Street Fighter 4 that much back then. I began to realize all the shitty stuff that people did in Third Strike starting from 2009 was good in Street Fighter 4 when I started playing Street Fighter 4 a lot. Yeah, why is there a Shinryuken? Why did he just do that? Why does he have that? Shinryuken has great damage for meter use, but that's the only good thing about it. It's not that good of an anti-air, despite the fact that it looks like it would be a pretty good anti-air. It doesn't have that much invincibility, so it tends to just get stuffed by air attacks. Um, its damage is like worthy of like a super bar that goes all the way across the screen. You can only hold one. The combo from lights is pretty shitty. It's like a short crush jab into super two. You can't do like 3-hit. Um, the juggles into it are almost non-existent. You can do like a light DP into Shinryuken in the corner on some characters. Um, what else? You can't get an overhead into it. It's for the most part you lose all of the setup, and you just get a fucking kind of good damage. The throw into super works, but it only works on Dudley, and if Dudley quick stands, it doesn't work anymore. So like the Dudley can just always quick stand. So it's more of a novelty than anything else. Double uppercut. He could have done maybe one uppercut into Shippuden. I mean, what's it? Shinryu. Shinryu is a pretty interesting super. Wow, went for the jump parry. That was a nice deep one. It works pretty reliably as an anti-air if you do it that deep, but like most characters can hit you coming down before you let it get that deep. And if you do it earlier, then that hit will still hit you. Notably, Shinryuken from Ken actually doesn't require Dudley to be cornered. There are a lot of super DPs that work there. Ryu Super 2, Ken Super 1 and 2, Sean Super 2, um, and I feel like another one, Akuma Super 2. But Ken Super 2 and Akuma Super 2 work anywhere on the screen. Whereas everything else needs a corner Dudley. Third Strike is a game where a lot of neat stuff happens. Yeah, Street Fighter 4 players don't actually roll after throws and sweeps. Only got first hit. Honestly, that's not even a big deal though, because he like doesn't have anything he can link out of overhead. Wow, nice buffer. That was impressive. Too narrow. He didn't even need to parry that. I don't like that he did parry that. Made me wince. No, that was the end of the story. It's just everyone's changed the way they played quite drastically. And then when I finally started learning Street Fighter 4, I began to realize why everyone was doing what they were doing. It's because it was good in another game. There's actually some good tech that's come up in Third Strike. People never used to do, say, cross-up Tatsus as Ryu in Street Fighter 3. But it's a lot more precise, but it still actually works. And it works for the same reasons. It's because you expect you can hit on the front or get a cross-up Tatsu on the back. Um, so you can actually still do cross-up Tatsus in this game. That's too close. I don't like it. Never mind. Hugo tries to jump out. Where was I going with this? Yeah, he was dead. Difficult parry there. Difficult but possible. The timing's really weird. It's like dot, 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 dot. Something like that. Two of the hits are closer together than the others. Ooh, ooh. Damn it, I feel like there was some big component to this third strike to Street Fighter 4 story there. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold on, I remember. I'm talking about cross-up Tatsu. That's actually good in third strike, and people never did it before Street Fighter 4. And then Street Fighter 4 came out, and people like found out that it was tech, and then they started doing it in Street Fighter 3, and it's actually like it improved their play. No, you do stand around house there. Koro, come on. That's the good response from Hugo. If that was stand around house, he'd be dizzy. Very nice. I approve of using all of his meter there. Nice. Very nice. Oh, the universal overhead's kind of obvious on Hugo. I'd have liked to see the overhead. I would have done the overhead. I know he was afraid of like a super or something. CPUs in early versions of Street Fighter 2 didn't have to charge. I don't think they had to in any version. But definitely not the early versions. You could just fucking, Gal could just be walking. And then fucking you jump in. And he just flash kicks you. That was very desperate. The AI in 4 can be pretty stupid. How free is Aura versus Hugo? It's not that free. Professional response, professional opinion, 6.5, 3.5. Aura's favor. It might go to shit at the highest level of play. It might go to like a 7.3 or a fucking 7.5, 2.5. But I feel like it's not that bad, but it's definitely Aura's favor. It's like clearly Aura's favor. Aura gets a lot of free pressure with Super, but Hugo's surprisingly competent in footsies versus Aura. Aura can't safely attack Hugo very well. The only safe thing you can really do is fireballs, and Hugo can trade with fireballs actually really well with low strong or claps or stand strong. Ooh. Oh, no punish. Yeah, Yun. Nice. Aura's combos don't work properly. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Burn that bar. No! Just had a second meaty. Oh, this is so bad. You should have been on 3 stone. 5 stone didn't do him any favors. So, twins don't go very high on juggle, and Oro crosses up with his medium stomp, and hard stomp doesn't work, and light stomp doesn't work. Medium stomp can not cross up, and you can do normal chicken combos, but only if Yun is midair, such as if you parry it towards medium kick or a dive kick. So you have to do. Oh, you're talking about Yun's unique ender. You can actually still combo out of Aura's cross up chicken scratch, but it's a little bit different. You have to do medium uppercut or hard uppercut or stand hard kick. They're all quite precise. Ooh, that didn't hit. Yun nice and shitty with his fucking EX reversal there. Every time you want it to do something good, it sucks. Yeah, it's fucking always a matter of time with that super. He ended up getting quite a nice combo because he went for the grab so early. Good confirm. That's probably Makoto specific. That was a weird combo. I'm sure he could have just gone into target combo into dash punch. I was not into theater. We like to call that foreground diet plan. Diet plane. Ooh. And it's actually hell annoying. Most of the stages it's kind of inoffensive and cool. But then there are a couple stages where it fucking sucks. That should have been EX dash punch, that was an error. Either an error in decision making or an error in execution. Yeah, Chun-Li hiding behind the table, carefully masking her crouch medium kicks. This is a pretty nice Makoto play. Nice jump. Shinki Ryu's classic. You see that sick-ass car throw? Look how far it took him. Whiff a throw, do car throw. I respect that. Jump Tatsu. Unusual. Yeah, Ryu is one of very few characters who can make that claim. The most decent. Oh, you mean like the most middle ground? I was gonna say it's probably not Ryu's best super, because Denjin is probably Ryu's best super. To some degree, Elena has 3 viable supers. It's a very common one. Yun has 3 viable supers, but Super 3 is still so good that you'd never pick the other 2. But Yun's other 2 supers are actually both excellent. Same goes for Urien. Urien's other 2 supers are kind of okay, but the mirror is so good that you forget about the other 2. But Yun's supers are better than Urien's. Yun's got like a fucking 2 8 out of 10 supers and a fucking 15 out of 10 super. Urien's got like a fucking crazy ass super 3, but he's only got like fucking like 6 out of 10 super 1 and 2, give or take. Hugo arguably has 3 viable supers. You usually only see super 2 in certain matchups, whereas 1 and 3 are more general. I mean, to some degree, best super does depend on matchups. Trying to think of any other character with 3 viable supers. That's pretty much it. Every now and then you see like a super 2 Ibuki and a super 2 Necro, but usually it's just 1 and 3 for both of those characters. I guess I'll Gil super survival, yeah. Seraphic Wing does crazy chip. Resurrection brings you back to life. That fucking, there's a lot of dizzy combos using that fucking Meteor Rain super. Urien Super 1 is kind of underrated. It's pretty good. There's a lot of stuff he can do with Super 1 that he can't do with Super 3. Get damage in certain areas. Like his mid-screen punish damage is kind of garbage. I mean, you still have like the corner pressure even if you can't partition. And you still have some mid-screen setups even if you can't partition. But Super 1 is super underrated for Urien. It is fast as fuck. It comes from a lot of neat stuff. It gives him like a ranged punish, which he normally doesn't have. It gives him a grounded combo ender, which he normally doesn't have. It gives him a lot of stuff. It gives him an invincible reversal, which he normally doesn't have. It like fixes a bunch of holes in his gameplay. Yeah, Ryu super changes so little, but like even just the basic combos you go for are different based on your super selection. It's really neat how Ryu works. The only reservation I have with Ryu is sometimes he has trouble picking Denjin because of his opponent's character. Because some characters have really good fireball punishes. Chun-Li can super 2 through Denjins, I'm pretty sure. Most of the time. Unless she's already blocking a fireball. Or Akuma can teleport out of Denjins or stuff like that. Ryu super 2 is pretty good. The bar is big, but the damage is insane. It's like 70. It's like 50 to 70% depending on context. That's really powerful. Ryu also has a very good Super 2 Ryu. The thing is, like, the meter looks so big, but punish opportunities happen all the fucking time in Third Strike, because all you need is one parry. So it's not like it's super rare to get. Ooh, caught him jumping. Good conversion. He had a very baby mode ender. I appreciate that. It actually got him a lot of meter to do that. He would have had none if he did any other ender. Super 2 puts a lot of fear in the opponent. That's the thing. That's like the thing that they don't tell you about it. The opponent has the fear of God. Yeah, Ryu is very safe, isn't he? Ryu doesn't really use his Super 2 that much. He mostly just has it and sits on it. But like the fact that once you have that supercharge, the opponent becomes kind of unwilling to do things like tech throws. Anything that could lead to them getting fucked by a full charge Super 2. Kind of unwilling to hit buttons, you know what I mean? The opponent's play is heavily affected by Ryu's Super 2. And you can use that to your advantage. Like, you just naturally get better anyway because of the fear factor, even if you don't change your gameplay at all. The fear factor will make your fucking already existing strats better. Venao is kind of a wild man. Venao is super aggressive with his parries. Had Itabashi played ST before? Honda's a real bully if your character doesn't have a fireball. Honda Kami and Honda Geef are really shitty. Even like Honda Fei Long is pretty shitty. Honda looks like a relatively balanced character because he's like a mid-tier and shit. But like he either fucks or gets fucked by every character in the game. Honda like doesn't have a fair matchup. It's kind of like what Oro has in Third Strike. Oh. Oro Yurian is pretty fair. Oro Makoto is pretty fair. Oro Dudley is moderately fair. Oro has lots of even matchups. Oro Ryu is fair, for sure. That's a very fair matchup. But it's like 5 matchups of 5-5, and then like a bunch 6-4s and a bunch of 4-6s and shit like that. Oro fucks most of the characters in Third Strike. He beats like over half the cast. Ryu has a lot of 5-5s. Ryu is quite well balanced. That super though, just fucking whiff punish on reaction. That's crazy. He's like, yo, I can super that. Best emu to play Third Strike. Really, like, just MAME or Final Burn Alpha is the only way to emulate it. You can use one of the many clients that has competitive, like matchmaking with Final Burn Alpha, such as Fightcade. There's no way to actually do training mode apart from setting up like cheats on FBA Shuffle or something like that. Oh yeah, you could emulate the PS2 version, I guess. Anniversary Collection on PCSX2. Match Yun. So this is some weird event. I've been thinking about this, but I haven't voiced it. Everyone seems to be forced to play like some other character when they step on. I think it's like everyone has two characters. Or some bullshit. Because literally everyone's gone up twice, and the first time it's always been not their main. Matches Agoki, yes. Ooh. God bless the people still trying to try Third Strike this late in its lifetime. Game came out in 1999. Look at Iori Yang back there. You think Yang would watch his opponent rather than his brother? His brother's opponent rather than his brother. Tricky, tricky. The taunt. I think Match probably thinks that his Giannis should not be competitive with Tominaga. I think that's what that taunt meant. He's saying like, yo, I shouldn't. You should be better than this. That's gonna dizzy. Dash in towards Fierce. Oh, never mind. Towards Fierce might not have killed, even with the 3 mashing. 3 hit mashing. That's Trukihara. Momochi just wins through like better fundamentals and like better footsies. There's no trick to Momochi's play. He just has like complete control of the ground game. This trick actually genuinely does seem to be getting more popular. Ever since Fightcade and Co-op Cup, it seems like there's a lot more attention on it. Vampire Hunter? That's the Japanese name for Vampire Savior, right? It's Darkstalkers, Night Warriors, Vampire Hunter. Sefric, hi. Here to watch some Third Strike. I've been meaning to ask if we can play some Street Fighter 4 because I'm ridiculously rusty and I want to play someone. Vampire Hunter is different? Is it still version 3 but like pre-4 or pre-Vampire Savior? Or is it like version 1 or 2 or what? What's going on? It is Vampire Savior. Is it like version, like 0.8 or whatever? Is Vampire Savior version 1.1? Start Super's bad. You're pretty assy. I'm really out of practice. I've been playing nothing but Street Fighter 5 for like weeks. I like forgot about Street Fighter 4. I'm too busy playing the crack beta all the time. Ooh. Double dash Raging Demon. New things emerge from parries. Good things are taken away, but new good things are added. Ambassador Fox seems like a pretty cool guy to me. I will click that link in a second. He like made a bunch of neat stuff, including some neat Elena stuff. Night Warriors, Darkstalkers, Revenge. Oh. I didn't like Street Fighter 4 until I watched someone who was good at it talk about it. I actually remember the video. I've tried to find the video, but I think it's off YouTube now. It was called like Sakura something annotated, and it was just some guy playing Sakura matches in vanilla against like Ryus and Sagats and all that. This kind of low tier hero, although Sakura in retrospect probably wasn't that bad. Um, and he like just it was just like a replay, but he added all these annotations of his thoughts going on during the match, and it made me realize that Street Fighter 4 was not a dumb game. It was just I was thinking about the wrong things, and I think a lot of people do that too. Ugh. Teleport to the corner. Parry and then miss your hit. Just parry again.